Well, praise the Lord. Hallelujah. And thank you, Jesus. It's around that time right here on KAZ Radio, where we have one of the most hottest shows on today's Saturday, right? On Saturdays at 12 o'clock. Hey, forgive me, guys. It's been a long week. None other than Life's Obstacle. Take it away, Life's Obstacle Forum TV.
Yay!
Take it away, JR.
That's right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. It's good to be back in the seat right here on KAZ TV, baby.
That's right.
Oh, this is a beautiful weekend. It's the 4th. We call it the holiday weekend.
Yeah, it's
but
coming
we want
up.
everybody to be careful out there. But you are listening to the Life Obstacle team right here on KAZ. With your host, Gerald Washington, Miss Doreen Burke. And I usually let them do it themselves, Miss Jerry Knight, but I'm going to do it for them today.
All right.
That's the gentleman that I am.
Hey, we appreciate that.
Good
We ain't
evening,
complaining.
ladies. Come on. How y'all doing?
We are
doing
great
good.
today. How are you? How was your week? Good week?
My week was good.
Yes,
Yeah.
good. I know people complaining about the weather out there, but it's a beautiful day.
Yes, it is.
I mean, you just got to stay dehydrated. Stay hydrated.
Yes.
Drink plenty of fluids. And, put that, that sunblock on you if you're out there for a little while. You don't want to burn up out there. But other than that, enjoy yourself because I think it's a beautiful day. It's blessed to have this sun like this here.
Yes, and also people have to recognize too, every second is a blessing in our life.
It
So
sure is.
make every second count.
That's
Every
right.
second can make an impact and a difference on your
Yes, it
life. So
can,
enjoy
yes.
every second of your life, how
Exactly.
important that is.
Every second.
And
Every
I'm making
second.
it count by being up in the studio.
I know that's right. So, of course, guys, you listen to Life Obstacles. This is our KZ TV forum, and we want you to join, participate. We ask you that you send over information, things you would like to talk about, because a lot of times we hear, TV, radio is what people think we need to talk about. We want to hear what you want to talk about so we can have this forum where it's interactive with our community. You can hit us on our Facebook page, which is still Life Obstacles 1490. It's under 1490 AM. But we still want to connect with you as much as we can because everybody has a problem, and we know that everyone there's a solution. And so we just have to make those things come to order. Also, I tell people I just had a heck of a weekend, had a custody case, and I tell people when you have a problem, you don't run, you don't hide. When you drop your kids off and you keep going, you create another barrier for yourself, and that's not helping you. So I tell people you can't run from the situation. You got to stand and just sometimes take the hits to go with it so you can get past it. So I don't know if you got had any obstacles this week you want to share real quick before we actually get started with our conversation that we have on the table. Anybody had anything new come up? Oh, and healthy jumping. Let's talk about healthy jumping.
Yeah.
We had a great healthy jumping event. All of us went. Healthy jumping was designed to build physical fitness and body as well as in mind by getting people together to engage in an activity that we all should be aware of and know how to do. Well, we have learned that with so much video gaming and everybody trying to hang and kick it, that nobody knows how to jump rope anymore. And we would think it's just simple, but we have taught at least 200 kids how to jump rope that did not even know what a jump rope was. They knew the video, but just to do some physical exercise, those old things count. I was telling them, next time we do jump rope, I'm going to make a hopscotch board on the floor. And you won't believe how many people going to go past and do the little hopscotch because we just got to bring up old traditions. In the day, for us, we didn't have a lot of money, so we made all these creative games that somebody designed for us to have fun, enjoy ourselves, and have physical fitness.
Right.
And being honest, today, we were small, skinny kids.
Jumping jacks.
Yeah, when we were small, when we were younger, though, we had a lot of kids that were just small and skinny. We were frail kids.
Yeah.
And might have been the one kid that was fat. My cousin said she was the one kid that was fat. But it's funny. But now everybody's obese, and if you thin, now something's wrong. But we tell people it's your health. When you're young and you heavy, then your health isn't. You might have a barrier. But as you get older and you develop and get heavier, you don't mind that little extra chunk over there sometimes.
Right.
But when you're younger, that little extra chunk, you don't. But when you're younger, it'll weigh you down more, So yeah, for real. And so there's so many kids that are obese, that physical fitness. And I tell people, gym ain't even like gym was anymore.
Right.
I told the kids they want to participate, and I say why? They say because we can't wash up. And I said, that makes sense.
That makes sense. It
You,
makes sense.
so I told the school, we got to come up with another plan because they're making F's because there's no way to take care of their hygiene. Y'all got to cut the showers
Yeah.
on, give them some soap. You got to give them that time because if you got gym first period and you got to go through the whole day, that's how you gonna take gym?
Yeah, you're right.
You can't take gym without sweating or doing something. So then they saying they get dressed. That's not gym. That's called just getting a grade. That's not gym. Gym is physical fitness. If I was a gym teacher today and all you had to do was get dressed, I'd go throw my degree in. That wouldn't make sense to me. I went to school to get a degree to do physical education because somebody said I need a piece of paper to teach you how to jump or flip around. But since they did and I had to go to school to get it, somebody better get dressed and somebody better be climbing that rope or doing something. So
Yeah,
it don't
'cause
make
we
sense.
climbed it.
Oh,
But
yes.
I do jump, and I tell people I am thicker than a Snicker. So yes.
Yes. That's
I
right.
mean, I jump, I run, I do it all. I do it all.
Yes.
So just because you heavy does not mean that you cannot jump rope, you cannot double dutch. I do it all.
That's right.
I do it all because dealing with this man right here, we all gonna be in shape.
That's right.
And I was tired that day, but I did it.
Yeah, that was that global wellness. event. That was
oh
amazing.
my gosh.
It was
Yeah, you
amazing.
definitely
That
get
global
big ups to
wellness.
global wellness, and also the jamming jumpers out
Yes.
of Akron.
Yeah,
You know,
Jamming
we
Jumpers
had a
was so
wonderful
fun.
time out in the park. I thank them guys for coming along and giving us a hand.
Yes.
I mean, we rocked out there.
Yes, we did.
It was a long day, but it was worth it. We had so much fun. The people that
Yes.
stopped by, the jump is like it wanted to rain, but it stopped. It was a blessing that, just being in that
Yes,
atmosphere with them, it was awesome.
that's
So
right.
thank you guys, Global Wellness, and also the Jam and Jumper, like I said, out of Akron. Thank you guys for coming out and participating when we collaborated together and had a wonderful time.
And you know what else? I had 187, but I found another sheet, so our jumpers was 219.
Right.
So we had a total 219 people jump that day. So we
Yeah.
were really busy, and we thank John, who became our volunteer for
Oh,
Global
yeah.
Wellness. John was having so
Yes,
much
he
fun.
was.
Yeah.
And he got up and did a 5K the next morning, so he did real good. You go, John.
That's why we call
Yes.
it teamwork.
That was a long day.
Yes.
That was a long day.
So that's what I'm saying. Anybody out there running or riding your bike today, make sure you got plenty of water. Like I always said, if you're going to do some kind of stuff like that, special running or biking, you want to, hydrate yourself the night before, a day before you go out there and start a run, so that way you don't cramp up, because you will cramp up,
Yes.
and it is not a good feeling when you lock up.
All right. And don't drink ice cold water. Got to be like what? Room temperature.
Room temperature. That's very important.
You drink more.
All right.
Yeah, you will.
yeah.
You drink more when it's room
Definitely
temperature.
are.
You're trying to get that gallo in. So let's talk about some upcoming events real quick before we get started.
Okay.
July 12th at Mount Pleasant Now Development Corporation, we're having the Life Obstacle Forum where you can actually come to the community and meet the Life Obstacle team. And we have problems and solutions that has been presented to us that we're going to present to the public. And if you have something you want to present yourself, you can stand up and be verbal and let's have a conversation. The purpose of the forum is for us to help each other learn problems exist, but also how do we put solutions to them where they're not just sitting as a sore Band-Aid. A problem is just a problem unless we actually have solutions. So if somebody come and they say, I'm trying to figure out where to get food, I got DCFS, I got all these things. So when you come, we're going to give you resources to make sure you know this is what you need to do, these are the steps, and this is how you progress. So that way we have solved some problems and not keep running around having these problems go on and on and on. As we always say, somebody's been through something before you. Get the information from somebody else to save you a lot of time and stress. Also on July 26th, we're having a top 10 author forum. It's at the same place, 13815 Kinsman Road, and that is the Mount Pleasant Now Development Corporation. Our organization is now blessed. We are in partnership with Mount Pleasant Now Development Corporation. Our offices are housed there, and the collaboration and the partnership has really been a great enhancement for our organization. So we want to thank Nicholas Perry, who's the executive director, for opening the doors, and also Councilman Kevin Bishop for making sure that connection works so we could do more. So they know they're real good at community empowerment. So you're going to see a lot more of IOC really in the community because now we have a home base. Also, Soaps by Us. Remember, when you go to Soaps by Us or buy soaps from us or anything we vendor, body butter, you help enhance what we do. So it's from our broadcast, to helping our youth go to prom, to putting food on our youth's table when we have an events. It helps us to provide services. So we appreciate everybody who love and use our soap. I tell people, I know natural soap can be expensive, but in the long run, if you have diabetes and other diseases, or if you're going through chemotherapy, it's best to use a natural soap. It's non-chemical. It's better for you, and it'll work much better for you. But I also tell people, if you know you, like this one guy say, he has such a bad perspiration problem, he know he need a chemical to hold his stuff together. But he said our body butter works. So it's always something else that could be done. So you have to know what's best for you, not just because I said it, try it for yourself. That's what I tell everybody.
All
All right.
Head tight, looking right.
That's right. So let me make sure I give you our websites. Our Life Obstacle website is www.life, the word life, the word obstacles with an s.org. And Soaps by Us is www.soaps, that's B-Y-U-S. Did I get it right? .com.
All right.
You know how you do
got it
so
right.
much. I'm so used to JR going WW rather than www. So
Yeah,
that way I had to
think
remember to make sure I
that's
do
why
that.
just good. Soap
Yes.
bias, whatever you want to call it.
So
But I always say, you know, I met a young guy yesterday, one of my customers, and he came out,
can't get it out,
the
huh?
correction center. I mean, well, I want to say, you know,
Okay.
come out of prison. And he's been putting this stuff together since last year, and we have talked on numerous times about where was he's headed. And yesterday was one of the most exciting day for him, and also for me too, because to watch the excitement on his face that, you know, he looked back from where he came from and to where he at now. You know, you started here as a temp, now you're a night supervisor.
Oh,
Wow.
Good.
You know, and I told him,
It
I
can
said, well, that
happen.
means the company has a lot of faith in you. And he's just totally turned his life around. And he said, well, I thank God for all that. Because I really shouldn't have been here. But he's here. He's doing well. And I was so excited for it yesterday. And we laughed and talked about it. So I always tell people, you can make changes. You can make a change. But that has to come within you.
Yes.
Yes.
People will help you, but you gotta be willing to make that change. And I was so happy that he did it. You know, I was glad for him. I was proud of him. I told him, man, because he told me, he said, when I came out, he said, I went in with the same pair of underwears and come out with the same pair of underwear because I didn't have nothing. 'Cause
That's just
everything
how
he
it
had,
is.
he had lost it.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
he said, look at me now. And I'm like,
You can buy a pack. See there?
Yeah.
Something happened.
So
You
he
can
was
get a
like-
pack
he-
now.
He made it. I mean, it was funny because he made a joke out of it, but you know, and it says it was serious about it. But I thought it was just great. So kudos to my boy down there in Erie, PA. You know,
Well,
doing your
alright.
thing. Keep up the good work. I told you I was going to shout you out, so that's what I done.
That's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Let him
It
know.
is.
So you got to give him a shout out later too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
that
it's-
double shout out so he could hear it and
Exactly.
realize somebody
And
honored
that's
him.
why I said we were trying to work with the youth, the young men, and trying to get them to understand there's more to life than just you saying, no, it's okay to die. No, it's not. You
Yes,
got a
you
lot
gotta
of life
live.
to
Yeah,
live, and you just
it
haven't
does.
realized your potential yet. And we got to help you get to that level of finding your potential and what, you know, your purpose in life is. Instead of just every time we look around, we're looking at the news, we laying somebody to rest.
That is a
So-
lot. I mean, so much going on. And also, I want to just bring this up. I finished 2 books, you guys. I got them done. They've been over a year. They just been sitting. But one of the school boards called me and said, hey, we want to look at your book. And I said, well, okay, yeah. But and she said, well, I'll meet you in August. I said, oh, that was a beautiful thing.
Yes.
But then I said, okay, if it don't come to me, I don't finish it. But it has started coming to me, like it's funny, 2 days before. And so the workbook that works you is a workbook, part of the Make Me Think workshop, where it's for teens to really look at their life. Do you know who you are? Do you know what you want? Do you know your purpose? Have you identified who you are? This book is all about you, where it walks each child through themselves to evaluate who you are. Not what your mama said, not what your daddy said. Who are you for yourself? Do you like yourself? Do you hate yourself? You like your hair? You don't like your hair? What about you that you don't like, and how do you see improvement? Ways to help to build self-esteem, but also you are who you are. You can't change some things, but a lot of things you can change. So that book is a walk through life, and my goal is to put it in every school system there is, from Chicago to Illinois. It's going to go international because I've been connecting with everybody I know to get that that book in their classrooms. And so it's going to happen because God said so. And so because he said so, that makes me move forward to just go right past. And, I don't take no. So, no, they need this book. Yes, they need this book. So it's going to go where it need to go because it was designed, it was built. And I tell you, me and the angels was writing that book like a teamwork. I'm like, well, that's good, girl. You good. Come on, let's write that in there. So it's done. My other book I wrote is called When MS Strikes. It's about being a child. A lot of times when parents have diseases, they don't really talk to their kids about it. And I remember my mom telling me my first dad, I was blessed with a couple of dads. It's a blessing. My original dad, stepdad, one stepdad, too. But he had got MS. And so my mom came and told us that my dad had MS. And she walked in the room and told us that. Me and my sister looked at each other and said, why she telling us Dad got some letters? What that mean? We didn't know nothing about what MS was, so we just said, okay, and kept on playing with what we were doing. But really, MS was way more than that. And all the whispering, somebody should have talked to us as children about the deterioration was what MS was in the 70s. It's different today, but I gave a point of view of how MS was in my life as a child and how people are blessed today with the technology and medicine from donations and contributions that have made MS much better for people. They no longer have to suffer like they did, like my father did in the 70s. So a lot has changed. So, all right then. So I just want to make sure I bring those things up. And don't forget, if you want to tune in or join us, you're welcome. You could call in. And Pastor James, could you give us a number for him, please? As you know. And the number to call in if you just want to say something or add something. You have a conversation that you want to start. Just call in and let's get started on something that you have. All right.
Well, I know most of you out there probably kicking it out there in that sunshine right now with that grill going.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I ain't mad at you, cuz
That's a beautiful thing.
I can smell the charcoal from here.
That's nice.
Ribs on the grill. I got to have.
I want some
chicken.
corn on the grill. I haven't had corn on the grill in a long time. And I know it's good. What you got to say, Jerry, over there?
Yeah, y'all know I wanted to say something, right?
All right, we can see it was bubbling, girl.
Well, I was having a conversation with a couple of ladies, and
Okay.
One of them had asked a question like, what's the difference between a husband, a boyfriend, a baby daddy, and a stepdad when it comes to helping you raise or discipline your child?
So she's saying with all the different men.
Yeah, with all the different men, because, she said when she get on social media, she hears somebody say, well, this is my child's stepfather, or this is my child's baby daddy.
Okay.
And, so when she asks that, I mean, I don't know.
I think they have already been defined as who they are. Stepdaddy is a stepdaddy. Baby daddy is that's who she has a child by. And, I mean, they already
But
are
sometimes
defined.
people call their husbands their baby daddy.
Yeah, but that's not, then somebody needs some help.
Hey, still the
'Cause-
front though.
Yeah. So how's that when it comes to disciplining, your child? I don't believe that every man. I mean, you have a woman. Well, I'm just gonna be serious.
I'm behind you, yeah.
Here, some women have multiple boyfriends.
Okay.
And if you have multiple boyfriends, no, multiple boyfriends do not need to be disciplining your child, whether
many
boy
people.
or girl. It's too many people disciplining.
Yeah. So I think that's when we have to establish those rules of really what you want to do. I know a young man, this is amazing that you said that because this is what he said. He stayed with his mom and he has a good job. But her boyfriend stays there too. And not that he don't have a good job. She has a good, everybody has a good job, I'll say that. But over the years her son watched her. So she asked her son about paying rent. And he was like, rent? What's that? None of the men you stayed with paid you rent. Why would I pay you rent? Why are you asking me for rent? He live here. He don't even pay rent. So why would I pay you rent? Why am I paying you rent and he not paying you rent? So he didn't want to pay her rent. And so he asked the guy to stay there because they want to marry her boyfriend. He said, so how much rent you pay? And he looked at him and laughed. He said, I thought we both should laugh together then. And he went on and got in his car. And so she said to me, I said, but you look at the pattern. You said your son is telling you how he viewed you as a mother. So he feels that men supposed to stay with women and they don't pay anything. He said she buys clothes, she dress him, and he's comfortable. So he thought that's the way it go. And I told him that's not the way life's supposed to go. That was her choice. Do you see yourself being, how can I call you a man if you're not taking care of the responsibility of a house? Why would you get grown and think somebody's supposed to take care of you? I said, boy, you're going to be hitting that pavement. Women ain't like that no more. That your mama's probably 1 in a million. It might be
Exactly,
some, but most women we want to be equally yoked.
Had a cousin.
That's right. That's right. Most people want to know. do she got a cousin like her? But I'm one that for me, I just think we both should be equally. We both should get up and do it. I feel like if your husband down and you got to be the one, you go for it.
Exactly.
But you know, and I've seen people get divorces and their husband ain't never worked, and that seemed right. Well, what you expect? You're gonna pay him alimony for years because he didn't work. You took care of him. How did he get away with not working 6 or 7 years? I have no idea. But somebody was comfortable, and I'm like, no. And you ain't even got kids, so that
He
don't
was
even.
Mr. Doubtfire. What are you talking about?
He was
Took care of the
something.
house.
He did, but you paying for it
The
now.
house and the kids, he's like,
Something, but yeah.
she probably told him, look, I don't want you to work. I just want you to stay home, take care of the
And you
kids.
know,
And you
some,
pay for it
some,
later.
Some,
Get off.
some relationships is like that, you know, because some men can't focus. So you know, even if you have a good job, and then your wife got a good job, I don't see what's wrong with switching the roles sometimes.
Well, I know somebody.
I don't see what's wrong with the man staying at home, and you know he probably can't go no farther. You know, take an example, the gentleman that you just talked about that had been in prison for so long. He just got out, so maybe he will meet somebody that's up there and got a good paying job. He can't go no farther because society is not gonna let him. So just say he do got this good job where he at. He might not making that figure that she's making. Mm-hmm. So you know she can't.
He still got a job though.
Right, he still has right. He still has a job.
Yeah.
But he probably can't. His job probably can't pay that house note that her job can.
Yeah, that's true.
But it still is no right to to belittle him.
No, it's
No,
not.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying
just
in general.
speaking in
So
general.
I'm
it's
thinking
no
of
right
if he's just not working at all and he's not trying to get a job, he's just laying there.
Oh, okay. I thought
That's-
you said all
yeah.
of them had a good
No, I'm
job.
saying some of them have a good
Right.
job, but he's just looking at the fact that she never made anybody pay. She took care of her man,
Okay.
and so he had to have a concept of understanding that's not how life
So what
is.
did he do with his
You
money?
take care of him. Bought him. He got a brand new car. He took care of his business. He got money in the bank. He don't do nothing. But what he want? He take care of himself. So I told him. So you think the lights get just on? You think the gas just on? And you don't even buy food? And she buys all the groceries. She should have kicked you out at 19. You would have woke up early. Something should have changed earlier because your concept is way off. His concept his thinking is wrong. But I can tell you about one friend that father didn't ever work, but he told the kids, he's like, Dad, you just be on the couch all day. He said, I can because I earned my right when I got hurt because my money keeps you in this house and this neighborhood. See, some things you don't see how me and your mother
Exactly, that's
manage.
what I'm saying,
You don't
right.
see the money that comes. You just think I'm here. But me being here, I'm the soccer dad. I got to take you here because of this. I might hop around and got this wheelchair sometime. But because me being here, you got to go outside and be a kid. Because if we both was working, y'all wouldn't have got outside to be a kid. So when I got injured, I stayed home and I took care of you while your mother went to work. That's why you came home and I had cooked dinner. This called marriage and unity. And so we agreed to how we would do this.
Exactly.
But she has a great income from me and I let her handle it because I ain't trying to figure out the money.
Yeah,
She
you
gets
got
it. She handles it. We have no problem. The lights on, gas, cable, what I like, she takes care of it. I don't have to worry. And if I need some clothes, need to go shopping, she know my style. I really ain't got to do too much of nothing. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
So he told his sons, don't think I lay around here and do nothing because what you think you see. Because my money hit this house every month. And so, how the man said, don't get it twisted. Don't
Hit
get-
it like
Because
clockwork.
sometimes it ain't always, all sight ain't what you
Yeah.
see.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it ain't always like you see.
ain't
Ask the
always like
question
you
if you
see.
want to answer.
Exactly. You're
My
right.
money's hitting soap like it hit water.
It's hitting it, yes. And so your mom make money. She ain't making all that to make all this happen. And so,
Yeah.
Oh,
they had to sit down. He had to sit his children down and talk to them because they thought
You have to.
he just laid on his wife, and he had to tell them, no, I have a good income. And so that income helps us survive, and we get to stay. I would never live off your mother. Don't y'all ever think you could live off somebody?
Well, it's the way the
Because
world is.
it's what they were seeing, though.
Right.
They by
It's
sight
what they thought they were
they
saying.
thought
It's what
that
they
he was
thought
just
they were
laying
saying.
around.
Well, being a kid, you don't actually see that because you really don't,
You get older,
Right,
'cause you just think
exactly.
dad's always
now
home.
when you get older and things start to make sense to you.
Yeah, everything's
Because
starting to
now
add
you're
up.
just a kid because it's really not your responsibility
right.
to worry about
Yeah.
what your mom and dad do. You just trying to be a kid and trying to get through high school so you can start your own journey.
Yes.
So you're right. Sometimes we look at things, well, he never did anything, but you never see the other side.
The other side of it,
you
because they let
can't
kids be
see that.
kids in the day. You were a
Right.
child, and you stayed in the child's place. So you
Right.
were. That's what you did. You stayed in the child's place. Children were seen and not heard. And I think it's still a good concept. You didn't even know people had kids. They come.
It ain't no more.
the-
They're
well, that's
more
because
seen
people
than
let
they
them.
heard.
People change that, but that concept still works to me.
Do it again. Get out.
And life is so different right now because you got young kids raising babies.
Yes,
So some people grow up with their children and just tell them everything.
they
life
do.
is different. now.
Everything. They kids know so much that it took away their childhood. When you got a kid worrying about if the gas gonna get cut off or the lights, I never even thought about that stuff.
I
never even thought about that it even existed. I just thought lights was
never
lights
thought
and
about it.
everybody had gas. I didn't even think about a bill. And so I tell people that my friends, so we was raised poor and we moved house to house. And I say we was raised poor too, but we stayed in the same house. So I tell people I thank God for the stability my mother had, even in her situation.
Yeah.
We didn't move house to house. We stayed still. So I remember I met this girl one time and she said, well, it wasn't no purpose for me to try to get to know nobody because we move every 3 months. And I said, how do y'all move every 3 months? Because I never knew people move like that. I didn't know people
Never
move.
know.
People weren't moving like that today. They was being still.
Well, if you got it, you could just stay still, but sometimes
some-
you have to
yeah.
downsize because
Downsize every 3 months. That's interesting. Pretty soon you're going to have a corner. You keep downsizing, you're going to have a corner if you're moving every 3 months. That's work.
She probably didn't know why they were moving.
Her mother wasn't paying the bills.
I had
Oh, I was gonna
I met this girl and
they long enough for the bill.
they were
run out.
they were constantly moving because of the situation that their father was abusive back then. I didn't know nothing about no abusive back then, but they moved around to different neighborhoods
Yeah, and
just to
still-
get away from their dad.
And then he would always find them because somebody
Yeah.
forget and tell
Yep,
them.
and so she said we was constantly running.
Yeah. A young lady said something. I tell everybody, when you live in an apartment building that has a buzzard, even if you know the people, still let them buzz for that person. A lady said she had knew the lady dated this guy, and so she seen him. She said, hey, she knew his name, how you been? She didn't know they had broke up and there was a problem. And so she let him in the building and went on to work. When she came back, she found out the lady was dead. And he had killed her. And see, she's thinking, oh my God, I let him in the building. I didn't know anything about it. So she can know you, you could be best friends, you could live with the person. She would not let you in a building that's got security. She said that was a lesson learned. She never
Yeah.
thought that anybody was capable of murder or that they were having this dispute. She thought they were always a good couple. She never thought about if I let him in, this would happen. And so. Yeah, it showed her letting him in the building, and they confronted her about it. She was like, "Yeah, I let him in. He's always here," and they let her know. And she said that just tore her
I'm
heart
quite sure
out.
it did.
That
Let him
I'm
in.
quite sure it
let
did.
him in, and you would never expect any. I mean, I'll tell you, you gotta know how to regurgitate. You gotta know how to let go. That's breaking up is can be hard, but you really
People need to learn to love yourself more than you love that other person.
something. Yes, he just said the something right.
All right?
Yeah,
That's
you
what
love
people
yourself
don't.
first, but I tell people, everybody know when you break up.
You don't love yourself.
They don't.
People
love-
do though. There's
they
people that
don't.
love people more than they love themselves.
Yeah.
They really do.
They do.
As always, you always gotta love number one first, and you can love someone else. But if you don't love yourself, you can't love no one.
Just somebody said, "How do you love yourself?"
Everything
And that's when you
right.
take time to recognize who you are.
Right.
You recognize
You
I
know
like
who you
me.
are, what you have
I
to
like my
offer.
attitude. I like what I do. Sometimes you
Yeah.
just gotta write. I tell people write a mission statement for yourself. If sometimes your mission statement will change. Like organizations, we write mission statements as to what mission we gonna go on to stay in order. So in your life, write a mission statement. Write a mission statement for who you are. My mission statement that I would treat everybody well, and that however you want to put it, write a mission statement for yourself, and then stick to your mission statement and don't go out your guidelines. And that's what happened. We get off track because we get out of the guidelines of our mission statement. That's not our lane. You got to stay in your lane because some things ain't you.
Yeah, get in your lane.
In your lane. They say, hand me some math. I say, call my son. And everybody know they lane and what good they gift is, honey. Which one of my sons you want? Somehow they got that good gift. Know your lane. All
But
right.
life is good.
Yes, it is.
Life is good because at the end of the day, it's all in one thing. It still boils back to you. I don't care what
Yes.
decision
Yeah.
somebody tell you, how many times we give you advice. At the end of the day, it's still your choice.
That's right.
Exactly.
You make that
Exactly.
choice. I always say the choice you make, that's the choice you have to live with.
That is so true.
If you make a bad choice, then you can't blame nobody but yourself. That's why I said sometimes it's not good to give advice. You just listen.
Listen, sometimes it's only meant for you to listen, because sometimes if you get people to ask you the same question 3 times and you done had a conversation, I start listening. I stopped talking because we done had this conversation already once, twice. You asked me the same thing we talked about 3 weeks ago, so now I'm just going to listen till you come up with the same solution we had the last time we talked.
Maybe they can't comprehend.
Comprehend is now, they're going to have to learn how to comprehend.
And most,
It's going to have to work.
most
Also, you know, somebody did remind me of this. They said when we get on the show, make sure we remind people. There's a book called Life Obstacles. This book is from a group session that was facilitated. It's actually life obstacles that people went through.
Yeah.
This book
Yeah,
is
that's
really
true.
deep.
Yeah.
It's gonna make you laugh, cry. It's all kind of stories and how they came to some resolutions. And a lot of those things are everyday people life. It's called Life Obstacles. You can go to Amazon or you can just Google my name. I'm the author. It's Doreen, Doreen. S as in Sam is the middle initial, then DUNN hyphen BERTS. That is my author name. So make sure you look it up. Life Obstacles. Read that book. It's going to make you cry and laugh, because some people were so funny in that book about what they had to say about some youth and other stuff and just some battles people went through and how the group, it's called the healing group to us, because everybody talks about, bring up a situation, a problem, and everybody, we call it the healing group, comes back and can share, oh man, I did that. Let me tell you what you got to do to take care of that. And it ends up being such good results because somebody already know what you've been through. When they know the answers, they've been down that path. They know your pain. That's a good thing. When somebody can say, I'm about to relieve you of all your stress because all this long sheet they gave you, this is all you got to do is 2 and 3 and you straight. You be like, yes, you do. When somebody can save you from a long path and just give you the reality and you understand, it's so much better.
What was that saying we used to have? What you hear here stays
What you
here.
see here, and
What you see
hear.
here.
What you see, what you see.
Who you see here.
Who you see here, and what you see here. When you leave here, let it stay here.
Yes.
Okay. That was
And then my girls changed it to who you see here, let it stay here. But what you learn here, you better share with somebody. And I said, oh, that's good, girls. I like you guys. And I'm going to give kudos. I have 15 girls in our Moving Forward program. I got them at the end of their 10th grade year. And I tell you, when you start working with young people to make them understand that you have value and what you see, don't what you have to live with, and they start understanding, attitudes change, personalities change. We got so many compliments from us coming into schools to talk to them and help them just have a conversation. And I tell people, we always break bread with our youth. Food is the empowerment of change.
Yeah, because
If
they
you
like
can-
to eat.
Yeah, who don't? We all like to eat. But out of those girls, 15 girls I started with that were in the 10th grade. It was like the end of the year, so I only got to talk to them 2 months, and they came back their 11th grade year for the full year and their 12th grade year, and they stayed. 3 girls went to other schools. They end up leaving, or you know how people move. But 11 girls stayed, and out of our 11 girls that they thought would not be successful, all 11 of our girls graduated high school. 5 of our
Give that up
girls
to
were
them.
the top 10. And it's all because of helping them understand, identify. You could do whatever you want to do. Words don't hurt. You can move beyond any barriers. Make your haterism become your spectators, however it go, for you to empower yourself to know people don't hold you back. Words don't hold you back. You hold yourself back when you start believing that people have laid that negative on you and you have to brush it off. So we had 100% graduation rate in our program, and we the only program that we were known to have 100% graduation rate. Because I tell people, my kids know I work with, you ain't leaving me, I come to your house. You don't get away from me. You ain't saying, I'm coming to your class, I'm coming to your house. See, I ain't gonna let you just disappear because you feel, I'm coming. Girls will tell you I work with the past, I'm coming to your house. I'm gonna find you. I'm like a track star when it comes to finding kids. So I'm gonna look for you.
She's
So they can
bounty
know.
hunter.
I'm the bounty kid hunter. Like, I don't know, you ain't been here 3 days. I want to know where you at. What's
All right.
going on? And they'll sit down and talk. And some things we try to solve. That's why it's so important to have this program, from hygiene products to somebody needs some food to a bus pass. That's why I tell people Soaps by Us is helping us just do so much more. So guys, the soap helps you take a good clean bath, but Banner helps other people do more. All right.
After
don't
you
forget.
get out that shower, then we got some nice body buddy for you too.
That's right. It all works out. If you want to call in and do an order by phone, it's 1-877-481-4334. There are customer service reps standing by to help take your order over the phone and guide you through the process of what you need to do or how you need to buy. If you got questions, natural soap is natural soap. It's so amazing to me because people would come and say, what's in it? And I had this one lady, I'll never forget her. She was getting some soap, and her friend was with her. Her friend was, I like these kind of bold people. She was like, why you asking her what's in the soap? You just bought all that darn Dove. You ain't read the label when we was at the store. So why you asking her what's in that soap? It's natural soap. It's some oils and whatever mixed with it. Girl, if you want something, buy something. If not, use that Dove. You just spent all that little money on it. They ain't no good for you. Always itching. And so it was so funny how her friend just said, now you going to ask her what's in it, but you just bought all that Dove and shampoo and all that stuff at the store, and you didn't even look at the label to see what was in that, but you going to ask her what's in the soap. And I said, all right. She said, let's be realistic. Well, we have to treat each other better. Well, you didn't. She said, you didn't ask in the store, you just got it. It says some new Dove or something came out. And I might give a Dove a shout out because I used to be my soap. And so she said, but you didn't ask that question. And you get here, you want to ask her 15 questions about some natural soap. What could be in it that's unreal? Ain't no preservatives. That's all she said I could say. And if you want to use it, you use it. And so her friend, she bought the soap though, and she ended up calling and saying, I really like my soap. And I'm like, thank you very much. But her friend was so funny. I like those friends that keep it real and keep you on track though. Not just agree with you or stand there looking at you. A good friend gonna tell you when you're wrong or right. And friendship shouldn't die over that.
Whether
That's
you
why
like
the
it
four
or
of us
not.
Yeah,
connect
that's what-
like we do.
Yeah, friendship don't die. We talk about each other to each other. And it makes it work. And we tell
Yeah.
we tell each other what we like. Like, girl, you know that was crazy right now.
Right. That's
Jim,
why the
that was
four-
crazy.
Right.
Whatever works out.
Jim,
Yeah.
what was you thinking when you did that?
Yeah.
You bipolar? No.
That is too funny.
And that's good when you can just have a conversation with your friend and just go on. We do not get mad at each other. We just say what we got to say, and that's it.
That's how it's supposed to be, though.
Yeah.
And that's good criticism. Like one lady was at the store, though. The lady asked her, she said, how did you get out the house past your roommate to wear that? She said, oh, no. Your roommate had to tell you that you look like you just about to. I know somebody had to say something to you about this outfit. She said, baby, at one time you may have been billed. Today, Bill has left the room. You need to go and take that off.
Right. Yeah.
And I said, she said, I'm not going to let you walk around here thinking you fly when you need to be hiding. She said, you need to go take that off.
Yeah, they do
She
stuff
said, a
like
good
that.
friend going to tell you. She
You
said,
don't
people
wear that
think that if
again.
I'm telling you, she said, I told my friend one day, her dress was just too short. Every time you've been over, I'm seeing a little tush. The dress too short. People think you being a hater. I'm not being a hater if I'm telling you I don't want to see your ASS. Come on. That's not being a hater.
Well, it's a lot out there.
You know,
today.
so everything you think you look good and you don't. People say, oh, she been a hater because I look good in this dress. No, 3 people told you something wrong. Like, you might want to check your dress. You might want to, that's too many. That means take that dress and hang it up. It's over. You retire that dress. It's time for it to go. Let it go.
Well, like the lady said, she feel comfortable in her skin.
Yeah, she was so comfortable. Everybody's cleared the room. And so you got to know you got comfortable, but y'all tell me you gotta pay attention when people say everything. Every criticism is not to be a hater or destroy you. It's to tell you something's going on. You might need to make some changes. It's okay to make some changes. Everything don't look good on you that you think. Because in our mind, we can build up our mind and think, oh, I look good. The mind will play you. The mind will play you out yourself. You better know. The mind will play you. I'm telling you. Put on them shorts and that cellulite kicking all kind of directions, but you think you look good. You better pay attention. Like, you know that cellulite was there when you started. It's still there. Your mind make you think you look good in them shorts. Them legs still need some help. So go ahead and take them shorts off and go ahead and throw some leggings or something on to help yourself. Y'all know sometimes we just got to get a little help. Don't be ashamed to embarrass us. My one friend said, I don't ask nobody how I look. I said, that's good, because they end up telling you anyway, so that's even better. They end up telling you anyway. So the mind will play you.
Well, for the guys, it might be a little different, but hey, I understand.
No, they don't need to be wearing them tight old Speedos. That don't look cute.
This guy has some Speedos on everybody, and he had a big old opera head. The guy said, man, all you got to do is bobble. He's like, you got to do is bobble. Some things are meant to be left alone.
But I wanted to get back to the when it comes to us
Yes.
as black folks, we need to start really supporting each other in our business, in order for us to grow, because we don't do enough of that.
Okay, I really want to talk about
so
that.
into not trying to help because you think my money, your money that you're giving me, well, I'm not going
It's
to help
supposed
you
to help
get
me.
rich. But,
Somebody gonna get rich, right?
Right. Well, you don't mind giving to
Yeah, any other
people,
race.
you
Now, you know what? Speaking of
help
race, a
them
lady
get
told me something important. We have to look at this. She said, we black people support every business there is. We'll support anybody. We don't care about your race. If you got something want to buy, we buy it. She said, but you pay attention, and I'm not prejudiced against anybody, but I look at what she said. How many Chinese people come in the black store and buy anything from us? How many of them actually come to where we are and purchase anything from us? But we give everybody a lot of business. But you go in there, they will not buy anything from you. I don't care if you selling whatever. They will not buy anything from you. So if they buy something from you or put something you have in the store, she's like, I just want somebody to write me about that. Because we do a lot of shopping and a lot of business for other people, but they do not do a lot of business for us. It's not the same. And another thing about our own race, we have to start enhancing each other more, and we have to remove like we're cloned and bonded to this jealousy or this something about us that we just don't want to empower each other the way we do. And so we have to remove that spirit from ourselves and say, I need to walk right and be right, and I need to be right by my own people. Because I tell you, if I try my own people first, I try you first, and I will give you a chance. Like I said, I get lawn care. My lawn is service. So from the bushes to the grass to everything. So I tell you, I give my people a chance, and I have to keep correcting them. Like, why you didn't edge up the yard? Why that bush didn't get cut? I don't want to do that. If I pay you, I want you to do your job, and I want to just go on about my business. And I said, but it's not race. Let me take it back. They'll go and do my friend line, who's a white girl, and her line is perfect. They didn't leave a bush uncut. They didn't leave the grass uncut. Everything was done to her line. But you get to my house, and you do my line. That doesn't make sense. We have to respect everything we do and value every yard we do as the same. It's not about color. This is your work.
You didn't put them on the payment plan, did you?
No.
Okay.
They not on the payment plan, thank God. No. But it's a contract, and under that contract, you got to cut my yard just as good as you cut my friend's yard. It's not about color. Because if I slap her, she says she'll be black. She's so funny. So it doesn't matter about, in terms of the problem is, it's not color. You just learn that, look at everybody as blue and just treat everybody well. Color is just something that we were born with. People can't change it. It's amazing. Let's talk about that. It's amazing how people get so upset and so much prejudice over the color of your skin. That is the most elementary, immature thing that could ever exist among people. People were genetically made and created. So we're going to go over, I don't like you because you white or you, that is so much energy wasted, because over the years, all life is important, and people have had to work together to make those changes. Black people didn't get free just because of black people. See, we telling each other, so that wouldn't have worked. Somebody white still had to come and help Harriet and whoever else. There's so many people we don't know about that made the impact and change. White and black together have made that change. And people even today look at that prejudice. It's dead because, number one, it's so many diverse couples that it's so many diverse couples. What they going to do? Well, the white family going this side. We're going to split the kids apart and figure out what to do. It's so much change, but people are not accepting the changes already have came. It's just easy to say black against white. It's so easy to say that. But really, it's not even black against white. It is stupidity against people who just ain't open their eyes to recognize. You're never going to change the color of somebody's skin unless you change the dynamic of people. That's the only way you're going to do it.
And that's why we send her to the White House.
That's right. It's not going to change. People going to be who they are. Did y'all hear about the little 8-year-old that the white boys lynched? He was a mixed boy. And they hung him, but he didn't die. But the scars on his neck will be forever for him to remember that these boys hung him. And I notice I haven't heard. He was 8 years old. They was 16 and 15. They hung that boy but he didn't die. Somebody caught him, got him down. He wasn't dead, but he told the two boys that hung him up on that tree, whatever they hung him up on, and they showed the ropes, the scars, how bad he was bruised on his neck. He would never forget that. That is trauma for life. And those two teens listen to other people more than likely, and people say, well, that's a shame. It's a shame that that was planted in them, that they should be that way. And so while they sitting in the penitentiary, they going to really think about how dumb that was as time go on. Because in the penitentiary, one thing about the penitentiary, white or black, they gonna teach you and tell you something about yourself. You got to go to the penitentiary for brothers to wake you up and make you recognize that this never had to happen, and they probably gonna be sorry 15 more times by the time they finish that prison term for that attempted murder. Cause somebody gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna tell you something about yourself,
somebody's gonna
and
do
there'll
it.
be hate, and somebody will meet with somebody over hate and don't recognize that it's way more to it than this. I like the and there's one other story. I know I got people, so many like a white boy and a black boy shared rooms at a college, both top students. The black boy looked like a white boy. You never would have thought he was a black boy. Him and the white boy was the best of friends every day. He helped this white boy get through his schooling. He went to that white boy house, and he never thought about his parents or anything like that. His mother talked on the phone with the other mother. Nobody ever thought that anybody was black. And so he sat at their table, and the father was talking about, had a picture, and he was throwing the darts at the black picture, and he was looking and he said, why you do this? He said, because I hate black people. He was like, why? He was like, do you have a reason why you really hate them? And he said he never could give him a reason why he hated them. So when he left, he went back to his room, and he left their house. He said he didn't even say he was black when he realized that they was such hate crime on black. He went back to the dorm with his friend. His friend said, what's wrong? He said, I guess you really hate me. He was like, why? You my brother. He said, but you are like your parents then, because they really have a problem with black people. And he was like, don't you? He said, no. And he showed him a picture, and the picture showed his family. He said, well, I'm a black male. He said, so that make us no longer friends or brothers? Did that make something change? And he said, but you different. He said, what's different about me? That I'm just look like a white boy because my eyes are green and my hair is nice, but I'm a black male. I never did not know you didn't know I was a black male. We never talked about race, because in this room you never show racism. And so they end up breaking apart, and the family was mad, but then the white boy had to come to grip and tell his family, but he was my brother. He helped me with everything. Daddy helped you fix your car. He saved us money. He did all these things. How could we now just turn our back on what we thought was different, and we found out it's not like we've been learning? And so him and the black boy got back together. And they had to recognize that what they thought was not what it was. And see, I tell people, look how God put it right in their house. Ate with them, served them meals, did everything with them, to find out later that he was what they did not even like. But they loved him and hugged him and everything else. He said, how did love lead a room like that over color? It's a valuable lesson to learn.
Yeah, definitely a good lesson to learn.
Yes.
You
All
know.
that time. Because no time they never talked about race. So he never seen his friend ever exercise that he didn't like black people. And so none they talked about. To that particular time, he met the parents, stayed 2 nights, had a good time, left, even went back again. And that second trip is when he happened to notice the conversation of the black boy. He said, I got scared, I got quiet, I didn't say anything. And then when I left, I was like, whoo, thank you, Jesus. He said, because to him, if he would have just said, but I'm black, I could have,
Right.
he said he
Something
just could have seen what could have happened, because they're in a mode of anger and fear, because we fear what we don't know. And so that's the sad part of anything. We fear what we don't know.
That's how I say.
So when they
never judge
fear,
a
they
book by
hurry
its
up. I
cover.
tell people in the old day, people were psychics and they knew things, so they made you a witch. They didn't recognize the gift that you was just telling them how to save their life, how to fix that wound. You became a witch. And because people had a fear of what they don't know. So everything has a phase where the fear leaves and people start to accept that, okay, this might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
not
it
bad.
It's
That's
not
why
a bad thing.
as the old saying go, never judge a book by its cover.
No, because I had a book that was so raggedy, and my aunt had said that, and I opened up that book and never stopped reading it.
Yeah, it's always
It
something.
was beat up. Y'all remember the book
Yeah.
Flowers in the Attic?
Oh yeah,
Well,
I
that's why I
got
always
that
tell
book.
people you got to
It was a
pick
beat up book that they had gave me. Somebody
Right.
wore it out, and my aunt was like, I said, "Well, that book raggedy." She's like, "Read it." I didn't want to read it because the cover was raggedy. She said, "Just go on and read it." And I started reading it like, "Oh my God, this is crazy."
That's why I was taught as a kid, you never judge a person by the color. You judge them by what they do.
Yes.
You know, how they treat you. You know, that's how you judge that person. But, you know, like I said, you know, this is something that's taught as kids, you know, when you start coming up, but it's been taught down through generations. And, you know, like you said, we do have a world now that is very diversified, and
Very diversified.
you can't change this. Nothing's going to change it. Go back, and we're steady moving forward. So I just feel like, you know, you need to get on board and move forward with it, whether you like it or not. Because you never know what's going to come knocking on your door.
Yeah, energy.
You never know what your kid's going to bring home. So you might well face the fact.
You don't. This lady was like that with her granddaughter. She'd never seen him. She got sick. Her son had to go see her. He married a black woman, so she had to go see him, and so he had to go help his mom, and so he took his daughters with him, his family, because you know mom need help, and he said, "Mom, you can have a fit all you want. All you got is me to come help you," and so her grandchildren, she had never seen them, and they said, "Oh, Grandma," and she looking at him, and they like, "Grandma, we love you." She looking like, how could they love me when I can't even stand them? You know, she's thinking about all the hate and how she did them and how she would cut them off on the phone. And I say sometimes illness brings a circle around for you to recognize what you've been missing and to detour that thought of being raised that way, of you don't like this, you don't like that. And so her grandkids end up being such a blessing to her. And she seen how much she was missing that she became defense. When she started, you know, her little group, she hang with her little home girls, and they was like, wow, some people was like, they're beautiful. And she looking like all the time she worried, and the people she was with didn't even care about the diversity of the children. They didn't even, they was like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. You know, talking to her about her grandkids. Oh, girl, you should have been here. Where them grandkids been? You know, talking to her. And so she had to recognize she was in denial, she was stuck, and these grandkids had been a help to her. So every summer now they go to their grandmother. And they still go to her when they 15. I said, I thought it would stop. He said, no, they still go because she has such a good time with them.
Life will pass you by.
It passed you by.
You miss out on
So she was like, you know, girls, I'm glad I got sick. Not that that's a good thing, but getting sick without that illness that she had, she never would have had built a bond with them.
Yeah.
Probably would have.
She wouldn't have even seen them, but she needed care, and her son had to come.
Kind of tough. This weekend, you know, during the day, out today.
Yeah.
And it's a good day. I'm hoping everybody's enjoying themselves. And it actually, you know, now is the time for you to really step back and take a reflect on yourself.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, just look at you and some of the things that you want to improve on yourself. And this is a good time to do it.
Reflections.
You know, and do a reflection. So that way it makes you a better person. And there's nothing, I always tell people, there's nothing in the world is a better feeling than have peace within yourself.
Ain't that the truth?
That's one of
And
the
we want to
most
remind
beautiful
people to
things in the world.
share and like. I don't want to cut you off, JR, but I have to remember that while I was there, I have a senior moment, and I forgot that we have to make sure we say share and like and to join us on the radio.
Share.
Some-
Okay. She wants to share.
Tell us to share and like.
Share
Yeah.
life.
And join us on the radio. We on the radio from 2 to 3 on 1490 AM. So make sure you join us on the radio as well.
Called dress down. Be who you are. If you're comfortable with what you're doing, then stay that way.
Oh, yeah.
Always my favorite
Wait a
line.
minute now, don't put on some things you know you ain't supposed to wear. Because I don't want to see no sundresses with no saggy titties, ladies. I want y'all to cover them girls up. Get it together now. You got to make sure you cover some things up and make sure you're in order now. Let's be 100 on that. Because some people, some things just do not, what's that show used to be? What not to wear? Oh God, we gotta have a squad in Cleveland that does that. People be in trouble. What not to wear? Yes, do not put that on. Put a bra on. This lady was doing this marketing that she don't wear a bra. I don't want to see your nipples. I don't care what women say. I don't care how big or small they are. Those things should be covered. Nobody should be seeing them. These little boys run around getting hard because they don't. I mean, let's be 100. Because these women got too much showing. Y'all gotta have some covering. It's
Sometimes
respectable.
people wear bras and and they nipples still show.
Yeah, but at least it's covered to the point you know it might be a print.
Oh,
You can
okay.
actually see this lady had on this, and the
mean
little
they
boys
coming
went
up?
past like I said, their eyes lit up. She opened all kind of thoughts in their mind. You gotta cover them girls up. And some people know you need a bra. They in your lap. You can't be walking around with your breasts hanging to your lap. You got to put something on them things. Come on, help us, sister. Let's do something about it. It ain't cute. Like the lady told me, my rose was up here when I had a tattoo. Now it's on the floor. I got a whole rosy up. Y'all got to know what to do. Things change. It changes. Body changes. You ain't working out or doing something, the body gonna drop. You gotta, that gravity gonna come. All right, JR.
I'm gonna leave that in Miss Burke. Them here.
Yeah, leave that with Miss Burt.
You gotta keep it 100.
I'm just gonna stay over in the natural lane, the neutral lane over here, rolling. But it's getting that time of the day, It's glad to be back. We will be back
In 2 weeks.
2
Our
weeks,
next
and,
day is. Look, I'm gonna look it up, y'all, because it ain't in my mind. I got so much on my schedule.
In 2 weeks we'll be back.
And
But
two.
we would love for you guys out there if you're listening, and if you feel like you want to call in, we definitely will share the telephone number. Right there, Pastor Jane.
Right, it's actually on the screen. If you're looking at this, it's gonna pop up the phone number. You could call in, start a conversation.
Yeah.
You got something you might want to talk about and get off your chest. Let's talk to you. Let's hear you. So the next time we come back on is July 14th. We'll be back on July 14th right here at KZ Radio at 12 noon. So make sure you share. We appreciate you sharing and liking what we do and talk about it, because this show is really about you. So if you got something to talk about, you want to share, go ahead, call in. Let's talk to you. You start the conversation. Let everybody join in with you.
Yes.
Give us some. This is for you. So this is your forum. If you don't call in, you get to hear us talk about what we see in the world and things that you can, things that you post. So you can go to Life Obstacles 1490 AM at AOL.com, and you can actually send in what you have to say. And we're going to make another one just for, KZ Radio, where you could go, Life Obstacles KZRadio.com. So we're going to have it together. By the time we come back, we've got our person to make sure they set that up so we can make sure the 2 emails don't crash. So, all right. So make sure.
You just want to hang out.
I know you got something to say. Somebody look. If you just tuned in, you watching. I know you got something you want to talk about. You want to get off your chest. And sometimes the best way to get off your chest is just share with the public. They ain't got to know who you are. Just go ahead and talk about it. Them grandkids, this is happening. I don't like this. Joe stole my pizza. Whatever you feel, you just want to have a conversation about, because somebody else might need to hear that conversation from you. You make the difference in this show by you reaching out, talking about what's going on and those problems that you may have had at one time that you really want to discuss and know that you need to share with somebody.
That's
All
what
right.
happens. What happens when you drink coffee?
And it's not decaffeinated.
Not decaffeinated.
All right.
Get you wide open. But then most of all, we want you to be safe out there for this holiday.
Yes.
Like you said, please, drink plenty of water.
Plenty.
Not beer, but
Water.
water. Not
Or
alcohol,
beer and
water.
Or alcohol and water.
Yeah,
Just put something with
drink
it. Just got to have that water in there.
Plenty of water. It's hot out there. We don't want nobody to have no heat stroke, because it's very, very hot. Me being from the country, it really don't bother me, but
Oh, it's a beautiful
you
thing.
still need that water in your system. So
Yes.
drink plenty of that. If you don't do nothing but take a bottle around with you all day, just keep drinking. Because
Drink
you're going
water,
to sweat
drink
it out
water.
anyway.
That's a
And it's
beautiful
good
thing.
for the skin. It's, good for the top of the body anyway.
And remember your dog. Give your dog and cat some water.
Yeah.
Get the dog, don't get the pet.
Check up on your elderly neighbors.
That's right.
All right.
Pick up on the ones that's out there that can't help themselves.
So again, I'm Doreen Burtz.
And I'm J.R. Washington.
And I'm Jerry Knight.
And you're just listening to the Life Station right here.
All right, and we'll shout out to Brenda Vereen, one of our members who
Didn't make it.
does have taken care of some
Care of some
business.
business.
There we go.
So
All right.
we'll do it again. July
14 at 12 noon. Tune in. Don't forget to tune in. All right. Don't forget share. And don't forget the card.
I'm just the middleman.
He wish he was. All right.
Yeah. Well, we're rolling out. We're gone.
All right. Thank you so much for listening, tuning in.
Be blessed.
For sure.